Hi, this is part 4 of the Christmas Wish Book 1986 go through, mostly concentrating on toys of the 1980s, stuff that I grew up with when I was a kid. And in this part, we're going to be looking at more of the action figures of 1986. Alright, so the next few pages are all awesomeness of the 1980s, beginning with Superpowers. This is the DC Comics legendary toy line, as opposed to the Secret Wars figures, which was Marvel. Secret Wars was basically it was based on a story in the comics, and therefore you didn't get all of the locales and vehicles and stuff like that that you would expect from Marvel. Captain America didn't even come with his shield. Superpowers was set in the world of DC Comics. So you got the Hall of Justice, you got the Batcopter, you got everybody. You got like Plastic Man and Cyborg and Tyr from Legion of Superheroes. I mean, it's craziness, you know. They're all $10. They all had an action feature. You'd squeeze their legs and they'd do something. Batcopter is not much more than a figure. It's $13. Hall of Justice was $30 in 1986. Defenders of the Earth was King Feature's answer to all of these toy lines and cartoons. So they teamed up all their adventure characters. You got Flash Gordon and Phantom and Lothar and Mandrake, and they're fighting Ming the Merciless. And you've got all these crazy vehicles. Look at that Serpent at number 15. I never see that on in toy shows and stuff. A lot of these vehicles I don't really see, but they're fantastic. Robotech, Robotech was brought over. At least the cartoon was brought over by Harmony Gold. These toys were fantastic. All the aliens were, of course, big sized, and you had the small humans, and you had these mechs and these planes and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. They're more pricey than your average characters, although I see a lot of the figures are about $8. The Zendradi, so it's like $6 or $8. The bigger characters are $8. The Veritech Fighter is $40. So only rich kids got that. Transformers is marching on past the movie, so you have movie characters here. There's more than meets the eye with Transformers. So you've got Ultra Magnus, and you've got Galvatron to the right. You've got Hot Rod and Cup, and you've got Triptychon. It doesn't seem like it's Triptychon, but I think that's what that is in the middle there. Number 3. He is $60 in 1986. Transformers were always very pricey. So Ultra Magnus is about $23 in 1986. Hot Rod and Cup are lower price point guys. They're about $13 in 1986. Galvatron is $24.99. He's more expensive, I think, than Ultra Magnus, even though Ultra Magnus looks like he's more substantive. The thing is that Galvatron came with electronic pieces as well. He could light up and make sounds and stuff like that with the laser cannon. At number 6, you've got the Stunticon set, and you have the Defensor set, the Protectobots, and they're about $30. You get like 5 guys for $30, and you can turn into one guy or turn into individual robots. Yeah, I never got those gift sets. I had maybe one character for Defensor. You've got Wreck-Gar and Rodimus Prime. They're mid-price point guys. They're about $15 at number 8 and 9. Skylynx is a big deluxe guy. He's $50 in 1986. And from 12 to 16, they're pricing all those at $15. So that's the I'm blanking on their names. It's Predaking, basically. The Triple Changers Octane and Springer are $13 in 1986. Let's move on to Centurions. Centurions are still going strong in 1986. I remember them being an 84 thing, but I might be mixing that up with Mantech, which was basically the same thing, but like a cheaper Remco version before Centurions. Centurions was cool. I mean, look at these things. You would basically buy a battle pack and put your figure in the pack, like one of these rigs, like number 2 and 3 and everything. I don't think they came with a figure. But I think if you bought, like number 8, 9, and 10 here, like Ace McCloud, Max Ray, and Jake Rockwell, you'd get all of these things, but then you'd have to buy these rigs separate. It was, I think that's part of the turnoff for these. Also, they didn't build out the world that much. There's a 65 episode run cartoon, but there's like 3 villains or something. And some of them, like this guy at number 7, are just dumb robots. They're not personalities. But you can mix and match, guys. You can fuse number 7 to Doc Terror, who was a half man, half cyborg. It's a pretty cool toy line. I see knockoffs nowadays. Inhumanoids. So to the left, they're still advertising the Centurions. To the right is Inhumanoids, a crazy toy line and cartoon series where giant monsters from hell invade the Earth, infect various humans, other humans, then try to fight them with like big robot rigs and things like that. Pretty cool stuff. The humans team up with these rock monsters and wood monsters. This whole thing was awesome. My favorite was Decompose. He turned guys into 8-foot zombies. There's of course Tendril, which is the green guy, and Metlar, which is the demon guy at number 15. I don't know how this got past censors or how it got past parents, but people have fond memories of this, and it's never been rebooted. I don't think Hasbro knows how to do it. I don't even know if they own it. Here's Thundercats, and I love these setups they do. They set up all these characters. They even have a sky cutter flying with some sort of string or something like that, and a kid playing with the with the big headquarters here and everything. So yeah, at this point, the Thundercats universe had been built out with all sorts of different villains and vehicles. You got the Fist Pounder at number 17, Slythe driving it. You've got all these pirates and stuff as well. You've got the Snowman of Hook Mountain at number 6. You got the Thunder Tank at number 8 there. And this beam of light is just affected through photo tricks and stuff. You've got, I like at number 24, Ma Mutt is not supposed to be standing up like that, but the guy who posed it didn't know anything about the character and thought it was a 5 POA thing like that, but he's supposed to be on all fours. He's a dog. Got Snarf, the kits. You've got the bad guy hideout, which is at number 25 here. You got Mum-Ra at number 26. I don't really see number 25 on the back market all that much. You've got the sort of omens at number 27 there, and you've got more vehicles, new vehicles that were introduced in the later seasons at number 28 and 29. Let's take a look at Ghostbusters to the right. Not the real Ghostbusters, but the Filmation Ghostbusters, based on the live-action series they made in the 70s, and they made a cartoon of the kids of those characters being Ghostbusters to compete against the real Ghostbusters based on the movie. These toys were fantastic. It's just that I didn't like the show because it wasn't the real Ghostbusters with the proton packs and the movie stuff. Here you have the Thundercats and Ghostbusters pricings of the time. You could take a look and compare 1986 prices to now. And here we have Mask. The hits just keep on coming. The help Mask agents use illusion to fight off the evil Venom team. So here he's got Boulder Mountain. This thing was enormous and epic. There's a big play set. You could put some of the vehicles in the garage there. This boulder could fall out, and a gun turret comes out and everything. What Mask was is basically a bunch of die-cast metal vehicles that could like flip out weaponry and stuff like that. And they had little guys that you could put into them. They were fantastic. And the show was pretty cool too. It lasted 2 seasons. The second season is baffling. They're racing or something. The first season is basically good guys versus terrorist bad guys, right? But it's fantastic stuff. They were fairly pricey. You could see in 1986 that, you know, something like the Boulder Hill playset was $42, probably upwards of $100 today, which probably isn't bad. The Venom Switchblade at number 7. The helicopter was the main bad guy vehicle. You've got some later series stuff at number 12 and 13. And of course, Masters of the Universe was marching on at this time. Here's the Eternia playset, the crazy $5,000, $6,000 playset today. If you see it on the back market, oh my gosh. Very fragile too. And all sorts of different crazy vehicles in the later series of this toy. Got a Monstroid there at number 13. You've got this Artillery, I think was number 12. Gosh, all sorts of... And here at number 5 is a carrying case that just another company just made. A knockoff company just made to cash in on the success of Masters of the Universe. They're giving you a carrying case that will fit these specific figures. Pretty clever. I only see this today, but enterprising stuff. Here are all the prices and itemization for all this, like the Drag Store and the Multibot and the Horde Trooper and the Snout Spout and Rio Blast. Figures were about $5. I think deluxe guys were $8. You got things like the Eternia playset was $100, 1986 money. Pretty neat. Chuck Norris said, you know what? I can get in the action figure and cartoon game as well. His cartoon was a 5-episode miniseries. It didn't last to a series, but here's Chuck Norris, Karate Kommandos. They made up a bunch of friends for him to team up with and villains for him to fight. There's a guy named Super Ninja with long hair. This was a fun toy line, and the cartoon is fun. I know people deride it, but it's pretty awesome. You know, what can I say? I mean, and of course, there was a Karate Kid toy line made by Remco. Pretty cool stuff. They made everybody. They made Sato. They made Chosen. They made Kreese. All sorts of cool stuff. There's some sort of fake vehicle that, you know, never existed in the movies. They made breakaway play sets for them to smack and karate chop. They made things from like play sets from Karate Kid Part 2. Like this set at number 6 is from Part 2. Let's see if I can get a description. It's probably on a previous page. No, I don't know. Oh, here it is. The Karate Kid Attack Alley playset is basically not really an alley in Part 2. It's the home of Mr. Miyagi's clan and the family. But anyway, and here you have role play stuff. You could be a ninja. You could be She-Ra. You could be a princess. You can have an Uzi with no orange thing at the tip. And here we have the Wrestling Superstars. This is the LJN series of figures, which did not bend or anything. They were basically dog toys. They're not made for dogs, but like basically they're just rubber. They're just like a rubber piece, but they were awesome. Kids use their imagination to do all the moves and stuff like that. You got all the classic 80s characters, Hogan, Bundy, from WrestleMania 3, which I guess would have been relevant in 86. No, WrestleMania 2, sorry. Yes, that would have been relevant in 1986. That was the 86 WrestleMania. You got Ventura, everybody, man. All these classic guys, man. Mr. Fuji, Junkyard Dog, Colonel Kirshner, I mean, Tito Santana, like, my gosh. Here's a knockoff ring, a number 15. To the right is Rock Lords, the offshoot of GoBots, which never won. They turned to rocks. That's it. They just turned to rocks. At number 16, you got Muscle, which is Kanukuman, I think, from Japan. They turned it into just this other toy series here. People love collecting these little figurines, and you wrestle them and stuff. Number 21 and 22 is Sunman and his evil nemesis, advertised in a Wish book. Pretty cool. So it's Pighead. He's $7. They're about the same price as He-Man. All of the wrestling figures are about $8. So $8 for just one piece. You got like a little poster with them as well. Muscle. It's $7 for a pack of 4. They came in packs. And here we have Legions of Power. I see this on the back market. It's a forgotten toy line. It's basically good guys and bad guys fighting with all these vehicles that you snap together and everything. Here's some figures to the left. Never had a cartoon or anything. Construx, I had this. It's a builder set with a bunch of arches and connector pieces. This is pretty cool. This came with little figures as well. Almost everything did back in the 1980s. The builder sets were all, I mean, it's like Lego. So, like Lego, and I had a lot of pieces, and like a set is like about what, $65, 1986, $25 for a smaller set, etc. You can make towers and all sorts of. There's pretty fun. You can snap panels into the holes that the arches made, etc. And that's gonna do it for me. I just picked out highlights from this. Of course, these things were like 600 to 800 pages long. But these are the kinds of things that I wanted to show for this channel, and maybe later on I'll show all the other strange stuff like electronics and fur coats and all this stuff. But I hope you like what you saw, and if you did, please give a like to this video and all the other videos and all the other parts of this Christmas Wish Book 1986 series. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have lots of great comic book stuff, pop culture stuff, catalogs. So please take a look and consider subscribing. Until next time, take care.